Hey, if you're new to woodworking, or even if you're a veteran and you decided to get into the cutting board and charcuterie board game, you probably noticed there's a little competition out there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stand out from the crowd. That's going to make sure you get the sale. So stick around. Let's get to it. All right, ways to set yourself apart. I think there are three groups that you need to consider. Group number one is the size and the width of the board. How long the board is, how wide it is, and how thick it is. Some people will like a handle. They can grab it with one hand. Some people like something that's curved. Some want something that's got an edge on both sides. Some people even want physical handles to grab a hold of. So you'll need to include some hardware. In group two, let me call this your intermediate level, and that's varying the design. Okay, maybe you want to include some different stripes. Maybe you want to include some exotic woods. Maybe you want to run the wood patterns a different direction as opposed to the typical parallel. In addition, you could also use different shapes. Popular items are some basic farm animal shapes or even the shapes of some logos. I'm calling that an intermediate level because you probably have the skills or the tools at least to be able to pull off something like that. Most people that do cutting boards or charcuterie boards already know how to use a table saw, or they're using a band saw. They're using a joiner or planer to get their board square. So these are all the tools that you need for these first two groups. But let's get to group number three, and this is where I think is the most significant way to set yourself apart from everyone else, and that is doing inlays and doing personalization. Okay, anytime you do an inlay, it means you're taking an extra step to create something special. Now that could be an epoxy inlay or that could be a wood inlay. Either one of those are a step above. You know, if you look at cutting boards, for example, I think cutting boards fall into three categories as well. You have your face grain boards, which are pretty basic. You've got your edge grain boards that are kind of an intermediate, and then you've got your end grain boards that are the top of the line everybody wishes they had. So this is where I'm going to put category three for inlays and personalization. Anytime you can take a laser engraver or a CNC machine and cut out a design, use some epoxy or use a wood inlay, it's going to make your board stand out from everyone else. That means it takes a little bit longer, but also means you can charge a little bit more. Again, what we're going for in this video is what makes you stand out, what makes you different than everyone else. And sometimes that means you're going to have to spend a little bit more time in labor in order to create a little bit better product. And at first that may not always equate to more money, okay? But as you get better at that particular craft, you're going to see that the results are going to outweigh any of your labor costs, and eventually you'll be able to increase your prices as well. What have we learned? Basically, what you need to do is be able to set yourself apart from everyone else by being as unique as you possibly can. Again, that can vary in the size and the dimensions of your board. That can vary based on the hardware that you include. Maybe it's the kind of wood that you use, and maybe it's even an addition of an inlay or some kind of an engraving. So look online, look at photographs, look at other people's work that you like, and see if you can find some inspiration there. At the end of the day, we're all unique individuals, and we all have creative ideas. Let's see what you can come up with. I hope you found this information usable, inspirational, and look forward to see what you can come up with. Until next time, I'm Robert, and this is From the Woodshed. Keep making sawdust.